Hello from Crewe, and today is Avanti West Coast time. Shamefully, I have never travelled with Avanti. I was planning to do it a few years ago. There was a storm blew through and the West Coast Mainline was closed, and it just never happened. But today is the day. Crewe to Glasgow Central in standard class, so let's see what it's all about. Okay, Avanti update. The 8:08 service that I was booked on has been cancelled. It's only running as far as Preston, so not going on up to Glasgow. So the very helpful Avanti staff have advised just to hop on the 7:54 train and find a seat. But no, they're really helpful, and just said coach C will be unreserved. So hopefully we'll get a seat and all will be fine. But a bit annoying that it was cancelled or not running all the way up to Glasgow, but thumbs up Avanti for getting me sorted, much appreciated.
And here's my train. It's a class 390 Pendolino. The Pendolinos began service on the 27th of July 2002, operating between Birmingham International and Manchester Piccadilly, and this was done to tie in with the opening of the Commonwealth Games in Manchester. It wasn't until January 2003 that Pendolinos were used on services between Euston in London and Manchester Piccadilly, and then in 2004 the Pendolinos ventured over the border and up to Glasgow Central. It's said that the Class 390s are the hardest working trains on the network, so with that in mind, it's not surprising that in 2021 a major as-new refurbishment was to take place on the Pendolino sets. So that involved creating more standard seating, in fact providing new seats, new carpet, a new shop, amongst other things. So let's get on board and see what it's all about. So today's journey will see us leave Crewe at 7:54, and we're going to call at Warrington Bank Quay, Wigan North Western, Preston, Lancaster, Oxenholme Lake District, Penrith North Lakes, Carlisle, and then it's a straight run up to Glasgow Central, due to arrive at 10:59. And as we go, I'll share some little bits of trivia which I found interesting, and I hope you will too. Warrington Bank Quay is one of 3 railway stations which serve the Cheshire town, and the bank in question in the station name refers to one of the banks of the River Mersey, which flows through the town. Now, I'm a fan of an island platform, so Warrington Bank Quay ranks very highly with me because it's served by not just one island platform, but 2. So let's have a look around the seat. I like the seat, I like the winged headrest, and I found it to be comfy enough. It wasn't too firm, so it was just grand for me. As for the tables are made from recycled plastic bottles, so that's 1-0 to the Dolphins. You've got USB charging, power socket, so that is all excellent. The tables also have wireless charging embedded into them. I tried it with my phone, it didn't work, but that's because I have an old phone. There's also a coat hook and an overhead reading light, which is all great. I haven't travelled on the pre-refurbishment Pendolinos, so I don't know what they were like, but I do like this very much. I like the ambience, I like the LED lighting, it's just got a really nice feel to it. So all in all, good work, Avanti, Alstom, Angel Trains. After all those seating shenanigans, it's not too long before we are pulling into Wigan North Western Station. The station opened in 1838 simply as Wigan. It was renamed in 1924 to Wigan North Western, and I assumed this was because it's in the northwestern part of Wigan. But no, for a time the station was operated by the London and North Western Railway, so it was called Wigan North Western. There's a second station about 100 metres across the road called Wigan Wallgate, and there was also at one time a third station in Wigan, but it closed in 1964. Something which is also a big thumbs up for Wigan North Western Station is one of the most beautiful words I think you can see at a railway station. buffet. And after making a quick visit to the shop to get some breakfast, it seems like there's a phantom bicycle on board.
En route, your bike doesn't have the seat reservation attached to it, so we have no idea where your bike's going. Once again, if the owner of the bike could make themselves known to a member of staff in Coach C, that would be much appreciated. Once again, we'll shortly be arriving into Preston.
There's been a railway station on this site in Preston since 1838, and at one time the station had a whopping 15 platforms. That's been reduced to a more modest 9 platforms, 7 of which are in public use.
We're just swapping over staff. We're just getting fresh staff, but we just do a quick swap over and then it'll be reopened.
As we roll into Lancaster Station, which opened in 1846 as Lancaster Castle Station, let's talk money. So my fare cost £27.60. That is for an advance single ticket for an adult with no rail cards. I think that's decent value for money. As we leave Lancaster and make our way north, we pass Lancaster Priory, which is described on Google Maps as being a historic church with regular music.
Welcome on board.
Next, the Carlisle Bridge takes us over the River Lune.
Sorted. See it, say it, sorted.
We've just left Lancaster and something absolutely stinks on this train. I don't know what it is. It's not me, but it reeks. Station at Oxenholme opened in 1847 and was originally called Kendal Junction. Indeed, the Windermere branch line runs from Oxenholme through Kendal to its terminus at Windermere. In 1860 it was renamed Oxenholme, and then in 1988 the suffix Lake District was added to the station name. And at Oxenholme I thought I'd give the old onboard Wi-Fi a go. I didn't try a speed checker, instead I opened YouTube and checked out Johnny Hoover Travels, and as you can see his video there is streaming absolutely no trouble whatsoever. Penrith North Lakes is another station on the West Coast Mainline that has an interesting history when it comes to its name. Opened in 1846 as plain old Penrith, it was renamed in 1904 as Penrith for Ullswater Lake. 70 years later, in 1974, it was renamed back to Penrith, and then in 2003 it was renamed again, this time as Penrith North Lakes. A fascinating little claim to fame for Penrith is that it was the last railway station in the UK where mail was collected by a moving train. So on the 3rd of October 1971, the Up Special Travelling Post Office and the North West Night Down Travelling Post Office were the last trains where the unique apparatus of nets and hooks were used to collect post. But that's enough from me for a little while. It's time just to look out the window and enjoy the views. guess what? It's time to check out the loo. So this is the accessible toilet. Is anything working? Dryer, no. Soap, yes. Water, yeah. All working fine. No dryer, however. But there we go. Looking a wee bit grim, but it's a toilet. One of them. And as we approach Glasgow Central, I just thought I would give some thoughts on today's journey. Firstly, this journey gave me the opportunity to keep reading a fantastic book about East German carrier Interflug, reportedly an airline which never made a profit in its entire existence, and it's well worth a read. Anyway, back to today's train journey. I thought Avanti West Coast were excellent. The staff were really helpful at Crewe, which was amazing. I was taking this journey just a couple of hours after I'd arrived at Crewe off the Cali sleeper, so I'll put a link to that video if you haven't seen it yet. As for the train, the ride quality was excellent. It was very comfortable. My bacon roll was absolutely delicious. So all in all, would I use Avanti again? Absolutely. It was an amazing experience, and I think the price, $27.60 in standard class, I think that's excellent value for money. One thing I would just mention, and perhaps this is me seeing something that's not there or just being overly sensitive, I don't know, you can tell me. Perhaps you could hear on the video conversations that the Avanti staff were having. On occasion, you could hear, what's the word, the dissatisfaction that some of the staff have with Avanti's working practices. Now, that's fair enough. We live in a free country, we can talk to whoever we want, we can express our views, that's all fine. I just wonder, is that the image that Avanti wants to project when it's in the hearing of paying customers? I don't know. As I say, perhaps I'm just saying something that's not there. I just thought it was a bit odd to hear that kind of thing being expressed, as I say, in the earshot of customers. As it's, you know, maybe I'm saying something that's not there. Maybe it's a load of nonsense and I don't need to worry about it, but it was just something that I did pick up on. But anyway, would it put me off using Avanti again? Of course not, because it was a brilliant experience. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, for getting this far in the video. I really do appreciate all your support, and look out for the next vid on Tim's Travels.
Hello, Glasgow.